This is the OTP presented by Farm Bureau Health Plans. Farm Bureau Health Plans, where you are the plan. Farm Bureau Health Plans makes it easy for you to get the health coverage you need for less than you think. See how at fbhp.com. With Amy Wells, I'm Mike Keith. Snickers Hot Seat.
Woohoo!
Occupied by Coach Dave McGinnis. Thank you for taking time with us for the OTP pregame.
Anything for you and Amy Wells and Snickers.
Yeah, we have to get him here with snacks, like lay a trail, and he just
Hansel
follows
and
the
Gretel.
Snickers.
Yes.
Yeah.
The kids in East Nashville appreciated this last one.
Yeah.
Back October 31st.
October
they did.
31st. They loved it.
The
Well,
thievery.
Now you can hand out things for Christmas.
I will.
Just
Ho, ho,
walk
ho.
through the neighborhood.
I will. If we can, I'm going to put a little ribbon around these, and this is your Christmas present.
Well done. All right, so you know the OTP pregame, 5 topics for the guest in the Snickers hot seat. We want a bit of a history lesson from Coach Mack for topic number 1, and so here it is. We all know Walter Payton as a football player. You knew Walter Payton well as a person because you were on the Bears staff
Yes, I did.
when he was playing. Why is the Walter Payton Man of the Year award named for Walter Payton?
Well, let's take his football accomplishments and put that aside
Right.
to begin with, because he was the leading rusher till Emmett broke it of the league. But what Walter did, not only for the community there in Chicago, because when Walter first joined the team, they were really bad, and he was basically all they had. But Walter became the ambassador for the Bears in the city of Chicago when they were making their rise. Everything was centered around Walter Payton. Then when Mike Ditka was hired, it was Walter Payton, Mike Ditka. Walter Payton, Mike Ditka. There were 6 Hall of Famers on that team from 84 to about 88 to 89. But Walter Payton was the fulcrum of everything. Everything revolved around Walter Payton. What he did in the community, what he did. Walter would come in, Mike and Amy, some days and have the receptionist move, and he would answer the phones for the Bears. So when people would call into the Bears, they would get Walter Payton. Walter was such a unique he was such a unique human being. Everybody knows the superlatives of him on the field, but off the field, this is why it's named for him, because what he did, especially for the Bears at that time, to make them a premier, they'd been really great with Papa Bear, and then they'd gone downhill. That's why Mike Ditka was hired. But Walter was there through the whole time. And when he was drafted out of Jackson State, people wondered, why are you taking? Bill Tobin was involved in that, God rest his soul. They drafted him, and they were wondering, why would you take this guy out of Jackson State to bring to the Chicago Bears when they need so much other help? Well, it played out. Walter was a wonderful, wonderful human being. When I was hired at the Bears, the first guy that came and welcomed me to the Bears and said, "We're really glad to have you," was Walter Payton. That's what he was with everybody. It's very well named, very well deserved, and it's a high honor in this league.
Did he have specific community drives that he was famous for? What were
anything and everything?
Anything.
Anything and everything. He was involved in just about everything. The other thing is guys, anything that he was asked to do in the community, he did.
He did it.
Mm-hmm.
He did it. And he was the dude. And because he did it, then everybody else that came into the locker room when they were asked, guess what? They did it because if Walter can do it, then I can do it.
Yeah.
Jeffrey Simmons is the Tennessee Titans Walter Payton Man of the Year award winner, which means he is one of 32 nominees.
Correct.
For example, the opponent this weekend is Jacksonville. Their Walter Payton nominee is Eric Armstead, who's
Yes.
A defensive lineman like Jeffrey Simmons, but obviously a great ambassador in the community through his time in San Francisco and now with Jacksonville. So all 32 go on, and then one is selected as the NFL's Man of the Year. How Jeff Simmons was told was very special.
It was very sweet. He was at an event, and he was doing things with a bunch of kids. And one of the kids was kind of interviewing him, asking him questions, and then mentioned him being the Walter Payton Man of the Year. Well, Jeff thought he was talking about last year. Jeff thought he misspoke.
Because Jeff was the Man of the Year a year ago.
Because Jeff was the Man of the Year last year. And so it took some of the people standing around to be like, no man, we mean this year. You did it again. And he was so surprised and so touched. And that's just a really cool moment for someone who really cares. Like, Jeffrey Simmons doesn't do things in the community just because, that's the thing to do, or other guys do it, so he will too, or because he gets attention for it or anything like that. From the day that he was drafted to the Tennessee Titans, he stood up in front of, 100, 200 season ticket members and said, I will be a man that you can be proud of in the community, off the field as well as on the field. And he has stuck with that from the very beginning. And so to be able to honor him and the things that he does in the community with this award, with this honor that he gets to, he will forever be back-to-back Tennessee Titans Walter Payton Man of the Year winner. And that's a huge thing.
What is it about guys from Mississippi feeling that?
That's a nice tie-in.
Yeah, Steve McNair was like that too.
That's a nice tie-in. A little bit on Jeff. We all know how grateful Jeff was to Amy Adams Strunk for bringing him in here, and he made that very evident because there were some hiccups along the way, and Amy Adams Strunk had to sign off on Jeffrey Simmons coming off of an ACL injury in the pre-draft position, but he stood up and told everybody here just what she said. But he feels a real obligation. Not only that, it's a feeling of gratitude too.
Absolutely.
And it's the same way Walter was. Walter was really had a sense of gratitude to the Bears for drafting him in the first round and bringing him from Jackson, Mississippi, to Chicago, Illinois, and so I think both of them very similar in that way.
Could he really walk on his hands the length of the field?
He was incredible.
Whoa.
You ever heard that?
No, but that's wild.
He could walk on his hands the length of the field, so the story goes. The other thing, too, is he could throw the ball
the first
70 yards.
The first two out on the field, well, again, we're going back a long time ago, but when I first got there, the first two guys out on the practice field every day when I was there, before anybody came out to play long toss, Walter Payton and William Perry. They could both throw it and spin it as far as you wanted them to throw and spin it. So they would, how you play long toss.
Sure.
You start out about 20 yards apart and move to
Keep
25,
backing up.
move to 30. Every day they would be out there playing long toss, and they could both just spin it as nice as you'd ever want it to be thrown. And Walter loved the game. He loved playing ball. Walter would jump in, when it was the defense's turn, and he would take practice team reps as a running back against the defense. Now, the defense didn't like it because we couldn't touch Walter. And so, that was a sacred rule that when the pads were on, everybody else was pretty much live thump, not Walter. You don't hit Walter.
He could also kick.
No,
or
he could
punt.
kick.
Which was
both.
It? Both.
He could do anything. The other thing that he could do is if we the three of us were sitting here playing spades, and it was Amy's turn to deal, and she had the cards, Walter would just come by and pat her on the back, say, "Let me see those cards," and bam, pop them right in half, and set it back down on the table.
Whoa.
If you ever watch Walter's game tape, you can watch how he carries the ball like this. And I'm showing, he carried the ball. He never tucked the football. He
sideways.
Like this. He always had it like this. His hands were vice grips.
Well, wasn't he famous for pinching guys in the locker room?
Yeah, you didn't want.
And
Walter,
it really hurt. That's what he did for fun. He would sneak up behind you and pinch you.
That is not fun.
I do
not
him,
like pinching.
Or shake your hand, because it was Crush City, so you didn't do that, and you never wanted him to grab you from behind and start squeezing you because it was like a python. You just had to go limp and just give up.
Go limp.
I'm telling you, incredibly strong human being.
Well, and there were some characters on those 80s Bears teams.
Characters.
Some would say hooligans.
Well, characters.
Wild men.
Well, yeah. You just start looking
and they were all in awe of Walter Payton.
Everybody.
When you would hear McMichael and Hampton and Marshall and Dent and McMahon and Perry and all these other guys talk about Walter over the years.
No, that's it. It was Walter. It was always Walter.
Right.
And it was like they all genuflected at the altar of Walter.
At the altar of Walter.
Just because of the way that he, when we played that first game in London, we played that first overseas game in '86 after their '85 Super Bowl year. We went over there and played the Cowboys. It was a big deal, and everybody. I mean, Walter was like one of the Beatles.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
As soon as he got anywhere Walter walked, it was just a group of people, and back then they didn't have the security that we have now for overseas games. I mean, people were just. I mean, we had Phil Collins, and we just had everybody on the field with us, but they were all around Walter Payton.
He wore kangaroos. So
like the shoe?
Yeah, those were the shoes, and he wore the beret, which are the Kanga berets still today.
Yep.
Yeah, they are.
But I mean, he sort of created that style. He was the first guy who had a shoe.
Yep, the ruse.
Yeah.
Yep. And that was a whole thing. You couldn't get them.
Really?
Mm-mm. Nope. I mean,
and really, Mike,
they were like turf cleats. They were awesome.
They were really cool, but they were very, very light. There was hardly any. Now here's another thing on Walter. I can go deep on Walter. Anytime Walter would get a new pair of shoes, which he got all the time, then Ruse bought him a Lamborghini too. By the way, then he had
well, sure.
one of those. He would rip the insoles out of the shoes. Because from Jackson State on, he had played with such old shoes that he could feel those old 7 studs come through the bottom of them. And he said it just helped him feel the ground better.
Helped him feel the ground to cut.
So he would always –
I read that. It was fascinating.
It's true. He would just always brand new Ruse, rip those out, and then –
feet on the ground. Wow.
It was fun talking to Jared Payton about his dad when he played for the Titans.
Oh, wasn't it great? And Jeff Fisher bringing him in here was huge. And Jarrett and his mother and sister, they're very proud of this award. When it's awarded, it's a big deal.
I'm very proud of Jarrett and his sister. They've just been fantastic.
Well, and Connie, their mother, Walter's former wife, they are great people.
Good stuff. Okay, so congratulations, Jeffrey Simmons,
Yes.
two-time Tennessee Titans Walter Payton Man of the Year. All right, topic number 2. Coach Mack, former head coach in this league. We draw on that experience as we ask, why was Brian Callahan not pleased that rookie cornerback Jarvis Brownlee mentioned the cold as a possible reason that affected the team's play at Washington?
Because it should make no difference. It make zero difference. Both teams are playing in the same. I mean, that and I heard what Coach Callahan said. That's an excuse. There are no excuses. Let's go back to the Bear days.
Okay.
We had no indoor facility. It gets a little bit chilly up there this time of year.
And windy.
All the way, sitting there on Lake Michigan, all the way through the playoffs. We had zero indoor facility. So regardless, whether it was snow, whether it was sleet, we were outside, okay? And so as a coach, my first year there at the end of October when the kids got through trick-or-treating, I came into my locker. My locker was right. Mike Ditka gave me one of his lockers because he had 2. I mean, it's not like it is now. So he gave me one of his lockers. So I was always dressed next to Ditka. And there was a snowmobile suit in my locker, Coach Mack, on it with some of those Eskimo muckluck boots, that come up. And I went, what's this for? And all the veteran coaches went, oh, you'll find out. We were outside every day. Every day. Didn't matter. Suit up, go up. I mean, we had Mike Richardson, our cornerback, L.A. Mike, that played at Arizona State. From L.A. He would practice in December with his hands in his pockets because he just couldn't take it. But we were out there every day. So the cold has never, come on, man.
Is he also trying to teach the rookie a lesson about what you say in those instances?
Yes, and look, I'm sure that he was searching for things to say because when you get beat down like that defensively, you try to search for things to say. But at the bottom of the list, and really not on the list, is how cold it was because guess what? It's not cold. It wasn't cold. You and I did a live television thing before the game out there, and we're still alive. It wasn't cold.
He is from South Florida.
He is. And Does he ever really search for anything to say?
No, he usually has an answer for things, for questions when asked.
Okay, he had an answer. Wasn't a good one.
It was
What a
just
But
wasn't
I
the
tell
right
you, that
answer.
may be one of the few mistakes Jarvis Brownlee has made this season, Coach.
Yeah, I mean, and the head coach handled it perfectly. He went, no.
Well, he didn't chide him. He did
not
take him apart. He
Did
just
not
said,
chide him. He just went, no.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no.
The interview you did with Jarvis Brownlee for Titans All Access, really, really good. And he's like I said, he does not lack for words or thoughts or feelings or.
No, he has thoughts and feelings, which I appreciate
Yeah,
when you're
that's
talking
always when
to
you're
someone.
doing an interview.
Yeah, you like that. You want people to have things to say. But no, it was really good talking to him. I really enjoyed getting to know him a little bit better and just kind of listening to him talk about, I mean, we all know his story and where he's come
Right.
from. And I mean, my man hasn't had it easy. And so just the way that he draws on all of that and the way that he plays now, really a good conversation. But also, what stuck out to me about him is he came up, we were doing this on a Friday, and typically on Fridays, just a little behind the scenes, if you're doing something after practice on a Friday, you better be ready to move pretty fast because guys are trying to get out of here on Friday. Friday afternoon is their time.
And that's not just the Titans.
Yeah, no, that's across the board. Across the National Football League, if you want something from someone after practice, you better be ready immediately.
On Friday.
Yeah. And so I anticipated a quick turnaround. So we're ready to go do the interview. He comes in directly off the practice field, still has his ankles taped, like his shoes taped to his legs. And he comes in and sits down and was like, I'm excited to talk to you. Like, I appreciated that he tried to cover it up by being like, oh, no, I couldn't wait to get up here to talk to you. Like, I know it's Friday,
Well,
man.
I want to make
it's cool.
I want to make a request here. So on Titans All Access, we can't show the entire interview
No.
Correct.
because we do have like commercials
You're
and
correct.
things we have to do. Could we show the whole thing here?
Oh, let's
Could
do
we
it.
listen to
That's
the whole
great.
thing here on the OTP?
Yeah, let's do it.
We can? All right,
Yes.
let's do that. Here's Amy's full conversation with Jarvis Brownlee on the OTP pregame.
Jarvis, you're a rookie. This is your very first year in the NFL, but it does not feel like you're a rookie at all. Do you get that same feeling that, like, this feels like a very comfortable place for you?
No doubt. I've been getting that since I've been here. That I'm not gonna have the same route as a rookie. When I first came in, Coach Denard already had then told me what my role was gonna be, and it kind of stuck with me since I got here. And I kind of had that kind of edge, that kind of standard about me that I can't come into the National Football thinking that I'm a rookie. I knew I was gonna have a lot on my plate, and I was just ready for the challenge and prepared.
What role did he tell you you were going to have?
He told me that I was going to be a big part of this defense and that when it was my time, be ready and be prepared. And he kind of gave me that same speech, before the first game and kind of told me, you don't have time or regular time as a rookie to get ready, to prepare and things like that. So whatever you need to do, to get ready for this season or this first game, then I need you to do it.
When he put all of that on your plate as a rookie before your very first game, how did you handle that?
For me, I really took it as, a big step. I took it as, he respects me a lot. He sees a lot in me. He loves my ability, my talent, my skill set. And it showed that, these guys, they drafted me for a reason.
Does that respect, that recognition of what you're able to do, does that build confidence that you are walking down the right path, you're doing things the right way, and what you do is good enough?
Of course, but some days I still find myself like getting down on myself, and it just be about little things, like just trying to be productive throughout the day, or not trying to let anybody get me out my comfort zone or anything like that, but just working on the little things and just in myself, and that's kind of the things that I try to work on every day. But it gives me a lot of confidence. It boosts my confidence. I already play with an edge, just how I play football. I play through pain. So for me, just knowing that my defensive coordinator, my coaches, my head coach, the vets that I'm around, these guys that I've been watching on Sundays before I was here, just seeing that these guys believe in me, believe in a young kid from Miami, Florida that went 5th round. I'm grateful and just blessed to be a part of this organization and just blessed to be a part of the National Football League.
Confidence is an interesting thing because for some people, it's just natural. They are born confident. And for some people, it's almost a skill or a muscle that they really have to practice and work at it and almost flex that muscle and learn how to do that in certain circumstances. Which one are you? Did you have to learn to be confident, or have you always had a natural confidence?
I think I always had that confidence by myself. Just knowing that the effort and the work ethic that I put into this game, and just knowing all the things that I've been through and the things I had to do to get here. So yeah, I would say that I was a guy that already had confidence, but sometimes I have to remind myself that you a top guy. You a dog. So keep being that guy and don't ever get down on yourself.
You've talked about your style of football because that's just what you do, is your style of football. Describe that to me. What is that? My
style of football is, being physical, playing with aggressiveness, and just playing with an edge on my shoulder. I came into this season with a chip on my shoulder, not just because I went 5th round, but I put like a paper on my wall with just every defensive rookie that went before me, and that kind of gives me an edge, to show that I deserve to be one of those top guys, and I am a top guy.
Do you track how those guys perform throughout the course of a season?
No doubt. I might not say nothing, but I'll be looking for sure. And some of those guys, I'm real close with. So I try to keep up with their game and see how they doing, and hopefully I could call them like that next day or thing and be like, hey, I saw this or I saw that, or hey, it's time for you to tighten up, like step it up. That ain't you, and things like that. And it kind of runs the same way with those guys when I get calls for them. So.
Is that a built-in almost system of accountability where you can see not only your own performance against other people from like a competitive standpoint, but also just kind of seeing where you fit within the group?
No doubt. We kind of have those competitive edges with each other. I might call one of my guys and he might tell me like, okay, I'm gonna get more picks than you this year. And we kind of just go like that. Even with guys that, I'm close with that I have to stick on the opposite side of me. I challenge those guys, just to work me. Like, don't take it easy on me even when you're not running the route. Like, try to block me and things like that. So we try to challenge each other in every way we could, no matter if it's on or off the field. And I think, it helps me and them with their games a lot, just knowing that, it's a certain standard that we have to play to.
In your young career, you've gotten a lot of recognition. You've been recognized by the general manager of this team, Rand Carthon, by head coach Brian Callahan, by your position coach, by the defensive coordinator, by other players in the National Football League. Justin Jefferson had a lot to say about you. Does that encourage you and give you that confidence, or is there also a sense of like, oh man, I gotta do it again? Like you have to keep showing up, a responsibility, I guess.
I think it gives me that confidence, but it also like tells me that keep progressing, keep going. You never try to get too complacent about yourself and your game. I'll go about my days knowing that it's always room for improvement. So man, I'm always trying to get nicks and knacks or things like that to just up my game, or to in the film room when I'm studying and things like that to help me on the field, just knowing the things that are coming at me or who I'm facing. So man, it gives me a lot of confidence because you dream of these moments. These are people that I used to watch and just look up to on these Sundays and be like, man, one day I'll be able to stick this guy. And Justin Jefferson, he was one of those guys that, I always wanted to stick, and just get that challenge, just to be able to be in front of him. Like I told him on the field, man, I'm just grateful just to be here and just to be able to get this opportunity to be able to shut you down and things like that. But yes, no doubt.
Do other players appreciate your style of play, or does it just bug them?
Majority of the times, I think it bugs them that I just won't stop. I just won't stop being physical. But more than anything, I think they respect my game and knowing that with me just being physical, not only in games but in practice, I try to be the same way because I know it's helping those guys. And when another guy steps in front of them, it won't be no different. They already know how to respond or how to react to certain things. So, man, I try to stay at it every time. But majority of the time, guys, they respect it and they respect the way how I play. And, just knowing my story, guys, it made them respect my game a lot.
You're relentless.
No doubt. Resilient.
And you like that. Look at you smile. Relentless is good.
No doubt.
It keeps people consistent. It keeps them honest.
Yes, ma'am.
Have you taken the time to step back and evaluate how much you've accomplished? Not
really. Like, it's a lot of great things that have been happening and that's been good to me this year. And, I'm still in a shocking moment where a lot of things didn't hit me. Like, even with me being in the National Football League and everything that I'm doing, everything that I'm accomplishing, like, it didn't really hit me yet to where I got that tears of joy. Even with me, having my newborn, with my daughter, like it's an amazing feeling, but I don't think it really touched me yet, of tears and joy. But soon I think it's coming. Like, I think by the end of the year where I can just sit down and relax and look back at everything, I think that's when it hit me and I'll finally shed a couple of tears about it.
Are you afraid to stop and take it all in because you've got so much momentum going right now?
Yes, I don't think I'm really trying to just look back at it right now. I think I'm just trying to stay pushing forward and just keep everything that's in front of me, focus on the main thing. And that's about it. I think my mom and my family members and, my friends, they kind of remind me of the things that I'm doing. Some days I could come home and be like, man, I didn't like my performance, or, yeah, man, I played good, but I gave up one catch. That ain't me. Like, how can I stop giving up one catch a game, and just make my game better? And, my mom or some of my friends, they be like, bro, why you so hard on yourself? Like, yeah, you gave up one catch, but you had a great game. Like, you having a great season. And I'll be like, it's not about that. It's just about being consistent and knowing that in those moments, they're critical and it's things that I can do to affect the game and help us win. So, I try to think outside the box. But, my mom and my friends, they kind of remind me that, bro, you doing some great things. Like, take it slow a little bit. Like, be proud of yourself and give yourself some praise. So, yes, ma'am.
You've got to have both. You have to have the drive to be better, but you also have to have mom to tell you that you're doing all right.
Yeah. Mom, she kind of do both. She do both. She tell me when I'm doing good, but if I go out there and give up a play, she gonna tell me about it too, and I'm gonna keep hearing about it until that's next week. So that's why I don't try to give up plays, because then I gotta hear her mouth and Denard's mouth. I try to limit it.
Who's worse, your mom or Denard?
It's kind of 50-50 right now. So I don't really know the answer to that yet, but I just be knowing that they just want the best out of me, and they really care for me. So when they come at me, I'm knowing it's for the better. So I don't take it any worse than that.
Jarvis Brownlee, thank you so much for spending some time with me.
Hey Titans fans, with a Kroger Boost membership, you'll score big with double fuel points, free delivery, and lots more. Go to Kroger.com/boost for details. Kroger, official grocer of the Tennessee Titans. Tighten up.
Home is at the forefront of all that we do. It's why we're so committed to caring for the places and spaces in which we work and live. Ashley, the official furniture provider of the Tennessee Titans. All right, welcome back, everybody. Coach Mack in the Snickers hot seat. We heard the Jarvis Brownlee interview before the break. That was very, very good. Well done.
Thank you.
Good job, Amy.
Gotta ask the
You're
guy
getting
who's
a lot
scarier.
of kudos for your interviews
you're getting
lately.
some.
I know, you guys are very kind.
But, I mean, people
Your
out there in the
checks are in the
world
mail.
are talking about it.
Yeah.
Amy, can I
Their
say?
checks are also in the mail.
Can I say something for Mike and I?
Please.
Now, I don't want to talk for Mike Keith. I never do.
You can.
Oh, no, you should.
Go ahead.
Yeah. If it's nice.
People would prefer it.
If they were bad, we'd tell you
Oh, yeah.
real quick.
Yeah.
So they've been really good.
Have I ever told you an interview was bad?
No, but you have told me other things that I know to mean that was not.
So I have cues?
You have cues. Yeah.
No, I don't.
Oh, you totally have cues.
Like, what do
I've worked with you for 12 years.
So
you
what-
think you don't have tells? Of course
No,
you have
I don't
tells.
have tells.
You totally have tells.
Well, yeah, towards positive. I've never been negative toward your interview. I just
Oh,
think
no.
your interviews of late have been especially good.
Which is delightful. I so appreciate that. That's very kind
Mike,
of
you've
you
always
to
been honest
say.
with her.
I really haven't.
No.
See,
Of course
trust me.
not.
And so that to me
No, I'm
is
totally not honest at
no,
certain
and
points,
and
'cause I know better.
And she's your favorite. She's
No, I'm not.
Ashley
and
Farrell's
I
my
know
favorite.
better. Yeah.
well,
no.
no, we've delineated that now.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, I'm so aware.
Yeah.
On the list of favorites,
Everyone knows.
I don't crack it.
Amy knows that I would tell her if it was bad.
Yeah. Mac would tell me.
All right, speaking of Mac,
Yes.
topic number 3 on the OTP pregame. Mac Jones is going to be Jacksonville's quarterback on Sunday against the Titans. We have seen him once before. He started against the Titans as a rookie for New England, actually beat the Titans, throwing for over 300 yards in that game. Now in year 4, Coach Mack, with Mac Jones' style and his skill set, how will he make the Jaguars' offense different, and what challenges will he add?
Well, I've already watched him. He's been on tape, for them, and they haven't changed their offense. They haven't changed their offense because he can throw. He's not as mobile. He's not as mobile as what Trevor Lawrence was, but he can make all of the throws. And so, you've always heard me say this, but he's a first-round pick for a reason. He's got requisite skills. He's not an empty chair.
No?
He's not an empty chair back there, but they're not going to alter their offense very much at all. And if they do put him on an edge, with the play-action game, he can still – it's not like he's pulling a piano when he's running. He's just not a real space quarterback, but he can throw the ball.
Pulling a piano when he runs.
I know, I was thinking about that.
I've never heard that before, but I like it. And it's a very clear picture
I've
of
heard
like
a
someone
piano on your back.
someone who's
I've heard
not
pulling
very
a refrigerator.
Well, it's the same thing. Yeah.
I think it's great.
It is.
It paints the picture.
It indeed does.
Yeah.
All right, so the last 2 topics are tied together.
Okay.
Do you want the positive or the pseudo-negative first?
No, pseudo-negative.
Okay, so topic 4, where in Dave McGinnis's opinion do the Titans need to improve the most over the last 5 games of the season?
They need consistency. They need consistency with their offense because we've seen improvement with the offense. You need consistency, and you need to score touchdowns in the red zone. If you want to dial it down, you need to. We've kicked at and have made the field goal kicking has been superb this year. Superb. That whole battery they're really good. But we need to score more touchdowns in the red zone because games can flip on that. That's the number one. That's the biggest improvement that has to be made. The other thing that they need to do is get back to, not unlike last week, but is play consistent run defense because that's really what gave them a chance in most games up to the Washington game is they were playing very consistent run defense. You could lean on that.
Right.
You could lean on that as a unit. They've got to get back to that, but they need to score touchdowns in the red zone.
Well, it's interesting because Folk, if I'm not mistaken, has as many field goal tries as he does extra point tries.
Wow.
I think that's exactly the same, or maybe one off. I'd have to look, but it's very close. As the Titans went through Kicker Palooza during the disastrous
the dark days.
They were dark days.
Yeah, they
they
were.
were bad. I mean,
Yeah.
8 of 18 teams in the high school state championships in Chattanooga are better than 44% on field goal. And that was a professional team. That was the worst in history.
Yep.
But the Titans overcame that
Oh, yes.
because they scored so many touchdowns.
Thank you.
Didn't
because
matter.
they only tried 18 field goals that year, and they kicked 40-something extra points.
That's such a great point that just illustrates right there what has to happen. It seemed like for a while during that period, because we were all here together during that period, every time we played somebody else, they had a kicker that we'd had.
Well, they did.
Yeah.
That's because we had Kicker Palooza.
We had Kicker Palooza. It was like Coach Mac's shoe carnival that I used to do for Jeff Fisher every Saturday morning when I would pay the practice squad players $50 if they could kick a field goal, from the 20, then we'd back up to 25, then we'd back up to the 30. I mean, so it was shoe carnival. It was shoe carnival the whole way. And so I agree with you. I'm so happy that group right now that we have, I mean, it's
but we need to be kicking more extra points.
Extra points.
Okay. And so here is the more positive question for topic 5. What is the most improved part of the Tennessee Titans through the 2024 season?
I think the development of this rookie draft class.
Okay.
I think we've had some guys. We just talked about Jarvis Brownlee a little bit, in this. I mean, the guy was thrust into a starting position. I mean, really, those guys were the 4th and 5th corners going into this season, and now you got two of those guys that have played a lot of football. Jarvis Brownlee, to me, the way that Big T Sweat has come through with what he needed to do, as far as buying into the program that was set up for him when they went to Huntsville, Texas, to interview his family and say, look, if we draft this guy, and they told him, well, here's what we expect you to do. And this is the program we're going to have. They laid it out, and he has done that. And then there's been some contributions from this rookie draft class that's been big. And the other thing is, and it needs to continue, is the development of Will Levis lowering his heart rate and doing the normal things as a quarterback does, and then trying to do the spectacular things when they're needed, rather than trying to do the spectacular things every time.
All right, let me ask you. Where do you think the Titans need to improve the most over the last 5 games?
Consistency is a very good answer, but I think that it is more consistency within controlling the controllables. And I think that's things like penalties. I think that's things like maintaining possession of the ball, not making silly mistakes with fumbles and turnovers and things like that. It's continuing to win the things that you can win so that you hopefully put yourself in the position to win the football game.
That's what I sort of say in NFL terms are the Harbaugh things.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's why Baltimore's there every year.
Yep.
They have good players too, don't get me wrong. But it's also why the Chargers are in this thing right now, is because they don't give games away.
They don't do those things.
Yeah.
And it's detail things. A lot of it's mental stuff. A lot of it is just being disciplined in the way that you play the game. And that's on players, that's on coaches, that's on everybody across the board. But we've got to find a way to stop doing those things so that we can then focus on the bigger game things.
Well, the Titans have no toes left.
Right.
Because they've shot them all off
Yeah.
this year.
Yeah.
And that has to stop.
Exactly.
All right, so where do you think they have improved the most? The question I asked Coach Mack.
Will Levis. I think Will Levis is definitely my answer as well. The way that he has grown through this season has been just fun to watch. Even with the ups and downs that have come with this season, seeing the way that he has improved as a game manager, as a leader, as a person who is evaluating what he's seeing on the field during a game, trusting himself, trusting his instincts. All of these things are things that we have watched in very real time develop. And I think that's something that's going to continue to improve as this season continues on. He's going to get better and better as he's getting more reps, as he's getting more experience, as he's continuing to refine not only the way that he goes throughout a week, but his process off the field. I think that's been a big part of it, too.
I'm going to raise you one on that. I would say the passing game.
Okay, yeah.
Because of Will.
Mm-hmm.
But also, so now they know how to use Ridley.
Yeah, yeah.
Obviously, NWI has a specific role.
Mm-hmm.
Tyler Boyd, we see him as the slot guy, and we understand that. Chigakonkwo has seemed to find his place in all of this with the 70-yard touchdown. They can throw to the backs. That still hasn't developed quite as much, but the 30-yard completion down the field to Tony Pollard was a thing of
Beauty.
beauty last week. Just seeing a pass game start to manifest itself in a way that it can be so effective. I do think it starts with Will, but I think he knows who to count on. I think they know where to be for him. It just looks like it's in sync now.
Well, and the other thing is, we talk about the quarterback, he's lowered his heart rate, and he's not as frenetic playing the position.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah. There's a level of frantic that is gone now.
That's gone, and it was there to begin with.
Oh, yeah.
Because you could sense it, and it was. I mean, you could see it. I mean, it was like the screen was jumping.
Right.
Now he's settled in, and for all those reasons that you say, and plus the players are starting to come into this passing game system. I mean, the other thing is too, and the head coach is calling plays to sync them up.
Right.
But until you know who the players are and who you can depend on, the first guy you've got to depend on is your quarterback.
Right.
To be able to put it where you want it to be thrown, but to also be able to take the options and work off of those options too. See, to begin with, it was like the quarterback was playing with no options. I mean, it was either there or it's not. It's not a panic position anymore.
Well, and Will Levis now has a better understanding of within this system what he likes, what he doesn't like, what works, what doesn't work. Brian Callahan has a better understanding of Will Levis and what he likes and doesn't like and what works and doesn't work. All of these things are, symptoms of having a new group of people figuring each other out. And that's, I think, why we're starting to see a lot of this kind of gel together now. They've had experience doing it together.
That's right.
Hey, Titans fans, SeatGeek makes it easy to find tickets so you can be a part of all the touchdown celebrations this season.
Whether you're buying or selling football tickets, SeatGeek is the place to do it. SeatGeek is the official primary ticketing partner of the Tennessee Titans.
The most disruptive idea in ticketing, a ticket that works. Expect the expected.
SeatGeek.
SeatGeek. Made a rookie mistake this football season? Maybe you should have had a Snickers.
Because now you can enter for the chance to turn those rookie mistakes into prizes, including a trip to Super Bowl 59.
Visit snickers.com/rookie mistakes for details.
It's time for the key ingredients of the game delivered by Little Caesars. Coach Mack is going to hold the Little Caesars box.
I love the Little Caesars. I love Little Caesars.
Pizza.
I like the pizza. I like the box. I like the little pizza man.
Pizza man?
He's
Yeah,
Caesar.
I think that's
isn't he?
Caesar.
Is he not a Little Caesar?
I've got a Coach Mac emoji with this outfit on that we can't show.
You do?
Yes.
Is there really?
Yes, there is.
All right,
I'm
going to
need
sip
that.
of my water here.
Oh, my God. Hang on. Let me find my timer. Okay, I'm ready.
All right, here we go.
Hit it.
Key number 1, get the run attack going. The Titans fell behind in Washington, so they had to abandon the run. But running the ball just 11 times, come on, that'll never cut it. Tony Pollard should be fresh. Tajay Spears should be fresh. The Titans have a good running game. Time to show it off against Jacksonville. Key number 2 ties directly into key number 1. If the Titans can run the football, it puts the action back in play action. The offense can take advantage of play action, especially with Will Levis's ability to hit the deep ball. Play action can be a true added bonus for the Titans offense. And key number 3, don't let the Jaguars run the ball. Seriously. What happened in Washington? Let's not even discuss that. The Titans' run defense, however, was great in Houston. So let's get back to that. Don't let Tank Bigsby and Travis Etienne get started, make Jacksonville one-dimensional, and stop their run game.
You did a good job, Mike.
Thank you.
Like 54 seconds. Good job.
Thank you.
Little Caesars is the official pizza partner of your Tennessee Titans. Download the Little Caesars app and get your favorites delivered today. Delivery fees apply.
Pizza.
I always shake these now. Remember the one time there was pizza in
There
it
was
and we
pizza.
didn't know?
We didn't know.
Always shake it now.
I like this one, too.
I know.
Mayo.
Hellman's. By the way, go get you some Hellman's there for your holiday dishes.
Yeah.
We did people a favor reminding them to go out and get some Hellman's before Thanksgiving.
Yeah, you're going to need it for Christmas.
You're going to
too.
need it for Christmas.
You put it in desserts, too. It's not just savory treats.
What desserts do you put it in?
You put it in all kinds of stuff.
Like what dessert do you put mayonnaise in? Since you brought it up here on the OTP, you have to tell the OT people What dessert
Okay,
you put
so-
mayonnaise in so we can avoid it?
Well, you're an excellent cook, so go
yeah,
ahead.
I am a good
You
I mean,
are
I
a
cook.
good
like
cook.
mayonnaise, but I don't know that I want it in desserts.
No, there are things that you put like a little dollop of it in to give it a little tang, like a Jello dessert to give it a little tang. I am not.
Okay,
I'm gonna give you a mayo
I've got
tivation
to
and
read
then
this.
some.
I've got to read the line, and then you do the thing. You
Okay.
ready? Look
Yes.
straight into the camera.
I'm ready.
All right.
Hit me.
A mayo tivation from Hellman's.
Mayo Titans cheers be loud, and your deviled eggs, potato salad, and whatever holiday dish you wish to make your mama proud and the entire family proud.
That wasn't really. Okay, go ahead.
Hellman's, the official mayo of the Tennessee Titans. May your game day be delicious. You have a bad attitude, Mike.
She overdoes it, doesn't she?
I didn't overdo it. I just try to give it the appropriate amount of gusto because I think that it's written for some gusto. And you're sassy
And you're putting
about
it in desserts.
Yeah, I'm going to find you a list of desserts. Maybe
I
I'll start
look forward to
slipping
that.
it in desserts.
Man, I don't know.
Maybe I'll start slipping it
I mean,
in.
I like it in potato salad.
Mm-hmm.
I like it
You
in
can put it
chicken
in dessert.
salad.
I'm
Deviled
I
Googling.
mean,
eggs.
deviled eggs. I mean, there's all kinds of. I like Hellman's in a lot of stuff. I like it on my burgers. I love Hellman's. I can run down.
Love
tons-
a ham and cheese sandwich.
ham and cheese sandwich is
with
great.
Hellman's
With
is
Hellman's,
outstanding.
outstanding. But a
I'm
dessert.
going to make you a list.
Maybe a
Why
dessert.
don't you make me a dessert with it in there and
Maybe
see
a-
if I'll
Because you won't eat it.
I
Maybe
will.
a dessert ham and cheese sandwich.
a dessert ham and cheese sandwich. You're so bad.
Oh my gosh, look at this. There's just tons
no,
of
no,
things.
There's not.
I'm
Read
going to
'em.
put together a recipe book. We're going to have 10 days of mayonnaise, 12 days of mayonnaise
Yeah.
desserts.
That's not a thing.
Ho, ho, ho.
That is so not a thing.
Merry
Thank you
Christmas.
for joining it. Like you wouldn't put it on Snickers. You
No,
wouldn't.
those are two different things.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Dessert and a meal are two different things.
Oh, no. I'm just saying that those specifically two things don't have overlapping ingredients. You
Now,
just
my
rest
grandmother-
easy.
My grandmother used to make a salad with raisins that she put Hellman's in.
I put Hellman's in my 7-layer salad on
Right.
Thanksgiving.
I think that's what it was.
Mhm.
It was some sort of 7-layer. It's
quite
kind of like one
tasty.
of those things they bring to the covered dish at church.
Oh, my whole Thanksgiving is one giant covered dish. But like I make all the dishes.
I used to love a covered dish at the church.
I do.
I
Oh,
would- I would
Mike,
go
you're
through
gonna
it.
love
They
these.
quit covered dishes because of COVID.
COVID
Yeah.
because they were
In
COVID.
Missouri, they brought them right on back.
Yeah,
They
because
brought them
they
back
were-
in Missouri.
They were
Mhm.
COVID dishes
Oh
instead
my
of covered
God.
dishes. Don't want that. All right. So for Coach Dave McGinnis and Amy Wells, I'm Mike Keith. OT people, thank you for joining us for the OTP pregame. See you Sunday.
You're gonna love these cookies.
I'm not having a cookie with mayonnaise.
Mhm.
Nope.